You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.
Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name is Johnny Chandler. I'm the owner of KCCC 930 AM and the host of Community Forum. And with me today, and every year so far since I've owned the radio station, is Kat Davis. Kat Davis, how are you?
I'm good, Johnny. How are you?
You want to remind everybody who you are?
Yes, that always helps. I'm Kat Davis. I'm the Executive Director for Carlsbad Mainstreet.
All right. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Never very difficult to have you on as a guest, but I still want to say thank you. Also, the idea is every year we've had Kat on to talk about the Electric Light Parade that we have here in Carlsbad. I hype a good parade, especially Christmas parades. As long as I don't have to put up Christmas lights, I'm all about them.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I don't think I could do half of the amount of work that people do put into these floats. When you see all the Christmas lights, I mean, just the costumes, the decorations, it's been just amazing to see. The creativity as well that people come up with for their floats.
I'm kind of a Grinch, though.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh, we'll leave that. I should have you be a judge for the parade this year.
Yeah, because they'll really have to dazzle me to win. I'm like really not into. No, I like to tell my wife that Christmas doesn't start till after my birthday, but I was born on December 23rd.
Oh gosh!
Right,
yeah.
so she really hates that.
2 days of it.
Yeah, no, one day actually, because on the 26th you clean up the lights. They go out on the 24th and they come on the 26th, right? That's very European though. Like like the Christmas trees. When we lived in Germany when I was younger, they would decorate the Christmas tree in white candles on Christmas Eve, and that was it.
Wow. Well, I will say, okay, for those that don't know, I was born and raised in Ireland, and we actually have what's called Nollaig na Mán, which is...
Say that one more time.
Nollaig na Mán.
Okay.
That's in Oswego, Irish.
Okay.
And it's actually called Little Christmas.
Okay.
But it's Women's Christmas is what it's called. And it's not until January 6th or 7th. I'd have to double check that date. January 6th, I believe. And it's actually supposed to be the day that the man does all the housework, the cooking, the cleaning. It's a quote unquote women's day off. And technically you're not supposed to take your tree down until after that.
Oh, okay.
So we go all the way into January.
I mean, I'm down for it. So the women have to do everything except for that one day all year?
Except for that one day. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. What's wrong with our culture?
Right? Hey, see, it spreads overseas too.
Yeah, right. So like my dad was in the Air Force. When we lived in Germany, we lived in an American housing area, but in a German city, Trier, Germany to be exact. And there was no guards or anything, right? You can just drive through. We all lived in balconies, huge apartment complexes, right? Big balconies. Actually small balconies, but what we would do as Americans, we would decorate our balconies in very traditional American Christmas decorations. And we had small balconies to be overdone, super gaudy.
Yep.
Right. And the whole thing was based around a circle. So the residents, the locals that lived in Germany, every year would come up and drive around the circle.
Drive.
Yeah,
because that's cool. Yeah, because they're not used to.
They don't do that, right? And so Americans just do everything all the way. So we had
you gotta go big.
It was nasty. It was so many lights, but. I digress from that. So November 30th is the date this year?
Yes. We always, for the last, 30 plus years, we've been hosting the Electric Light Parade.
On the Saturday after Thanksgiving?
Always the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
So Thanksgiving's late this year, the 28th. I think it's a whole week later than normal. The corporate stuff is on Friday, the 29th. And then, so the small business Saturday shopping starts way before the parade starts, though, right?
Correct. Yeah, that is also on the 30th.
The 30th. So it all coincides together, right?
There's a lot going on November 30th.
It is. There is a lot going on.
It's always a jam-packed day, but it's a lot of fun.
Right. So when does the events, besides the local shopping, which kicks off probably 10 a.m. that morning, if not earlier, when does everything really get kicked off for you guys?
So there's actually, for those early birds and who are kind of looking to work off a bit of their Thanksgiving meal, Eddy County Casa this year is actually hosting the Elf Run. They're calling it. They're doing
they want people to get up and run.
They want them to get up at 8 a.m. and do a little run around the beach. But I will say that would be a really nice setting to do a fun run during this time, because with the Christmas on the Pecos that the Chamber of Commerce does, they're going to have all those new additions this year that they've had last year. So it actually would be a fun run. But I don't know that I'll be up that early.
I was going to ask if you're one of those. So have you ever seen those memes online? They're like, make sure
different families.
Yeah, make sure you know. Make sure you marry a family that doesn't want to go on a 5K on Thanksgiving or the next day afterwards. So we don't do 5Ks in the morning.
Yeah, no.
But Eddy County Casa.
And for those who do, I think it's great, and it's supporting a great organization.
We've had them on before to talk about what the organization does, and obviously they do they deal with some of the most rough situations possible,
yeah.
right? And they help the young people in those situations. So I'm just trashing running.
I'm just kind of trashing the very early morning.
Okay, right, fair enough. It's gonna be chilly.
Yeah, it's gonna be chilly, but that's what I think. I think it'll be really nice around the beach area. So that's really, really the kickoff of the events of the day.
Right. So, well, for our loyal listeners and for anybody that's lived in Carlsbad for any number of years, we all know that the Electric Light Parade kicks off at Haligonia Arts Park, right?
Yes,
and it
correct.
happens right at sunset or at 6, or how do we do that?
So parade takeoff will be 7 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
Because actually around that time it's kind of dark by like
it's definitely going to be dark, right. So the lights in the park kick off, right? So we have
we'll do the
lighting
flip
ceremony
switch.
there.
Yes.
Then the parade starts.
Yes.
And it goes all the way down to the beach.
Yes.
What street do they take?
So we go down Mermaud, and then we turn on Canyon Street.
Yeah, right.
And then just on Church down to the beach parking lot. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, "There's
I'm trying
no way
to think
you're
of
going."
the streets now.
I was like, "You're
yeah.
not going on Green for that." Is
No,
what I thought.
no.
I was like, "Yeah, there's too much
It
traffic."
used to go a different route, and I've been super happy since I've been involved. It's been on this kind of straight.
Did you make some executive decisions? Were you?
Those ones were actually made before me,
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't get to take credit for them. But thank you, whoever made that decision.
Right, and obviously Canyon Street is the street you need to be going down for any
Yes.
parade. We know that very much. Okay, so let's talk about the theme this year. Let's talk about what was the theme last year.
Last year was Whoville.
Whoville. Okay.
So you would have fit right in. You just said, I should have had you be a judge last year.
Well, right, exactly.
See, now I know.
My heart will not get 10 times its size on the way down. At the end of it, it might actually. I do like to witness that thing. I just don't like to put the lights up myself. So last year was Whoville. How was the turnout?
It was honestly our largest so far.
Okay.
I believe we had 55 parade entries.
Wow.
And I mean, each one of them decorated to the max.
Do you guys do judging and stuff? Yeah, obviously
We
you do
do,
judging. You
yes.
said so what are some of the prizes that they win? Like the categories?
Typically, we always do little themed plaques, just so that it's like a keepsake.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
a lot of people, it's offices that participate.
Yeah.
But we always do best on theme, just best kind of overall judge's choice. And then we do like honorable mention. I think we have 4 or 5 categories.
Okay. So I wanted to before we even tell anybody what the theme is this year, I'm sure a lot of people already seen it online. Do you think a board game float after this theme could potentially be a winner?
If I was a judge, which unfortunately I don't get to judge since I'm the host, but I would definitely be getting a best on theme and or honorable mention suggestion for that.
Okay. So we tipped them off a little bit.
Just a little bit,
theme
yes.
could be related to a board game, a childhood board game that most people in the world played. Not everybody, as we'll get to know here shortly.
Most people in certain countries.
Yeah,
yes.
right. So, well, go ahead. Kat, what's the theme this year?
The theme for the parade is going to be Candyland.
I really like it.
I do too.
And I love
think
your
it's fun.
graphic. Your graphic feels like AI helped make it, but it looks wonderful.
I know I didn't make it. That's for sure. Yeah, no, it. I think it came out really cool. Just the whole. I mean,
it is.
For those,
it's like,
hopefully you can look this up online. But it looks like a marshmallow Christmas tree.
I think that's a cotton candy Christmas tree.
I think it's marshmallow. You know those like long twirly ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Almost looks like could be like gummy snakes or something.
Yeah.
Right. Which is very. Anyways, it's very
So
pretty.
I think for each viewer, it's going to look a little bit different.
The ironic thing is it kind of looks like a little Whoville.
It's
right.
It is similar
on Candy Lane. So Candyland is a board game, right? Which
So I have learned.
yeah. So you've learned. That's what we're gonna add. So I thought everybody knew that. We all played that growing up. I thought, but there's a reason that. So you did not know that it was a board game until when?
Honestly, after this graphic came out.
Okay, and this
I think I've known the theme for a while. People asking me the day after last year's parade, what's the theme for next year?
Right. Do you think that far ahead on themes?
No. But I will say this was kind of, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we kind of just came up with, a great list of ideas, and I've kind of just been circling through that. Like there was Christmas Vacation was one of them recently.
Yeah.
Got through Whoville, and then I was like, wait, didn't we talk about doing a Candyland like 2 years ago? And so we kind of just revisited that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I really like it. The graphics really great. I was excited. I emailed you as soon as I could to get you on about it.
Yeah.
We don't pretend we pre-record everything here, but we're already well into November pre-recording this, so we're pretty close to the event. in general. So what would you suggest? Lineup begins at 5:30. So you want to be in the parade? Do you need to register? Is this one of those parades where you can just show up?
We do have every participant register, mainly because it's a judged event.
Right. Well, and that changed too recently. There's some of the parades were getting a little out of control, I think.
Yes. So with the Electric Light Parade, we've actually always had registration. But I mean, because I also help with the 4th of July parade, we have just ask people if there's more than one vehicle like that you're registering with a group. You know, we have Jeep clubs and all of those, which are great.
Right.
We do just ask for like individual driver or like how many vehicles.
So you can still have one person do most of the work and the club president or secretary does it all.
It really is. We're not asking for license number, you know, like all of that, but it's really just for the safety and as well as the organization getting the permit for the parade.
Right.
Like if there was an issue and if we can't pinpoint kind of like the driver or the group that comes from, it's like, oh, well, Carlsbad Mainstreet can't pull another parade permit.
We interviewed,
so
I interviewed Mayor Lopez shortly after he won, and he was talking about just a little bit of checks and balances on the parade. But
sure, yeah, it's for everybody's safety. And all of our parades that we host as well, they are litter free, so you cannot
throw candy,
throw items. You can walk with your float and hand them to participants, but that has also been an issue.
Well, I was going to say that like it might be a Candyland Electric Light Parade, but you cannot throw candy.
Please do not.
So we were we have old VW, like a 1970 something VW, and we were in the 4th of July parade. One of my first parades ever when I came down here. And man, I had an arm. I was throwing candy way across the street. I was, you know what I mean? I got a little ways down before we got yelled at.
Okay.
Yeah, we got yelled at.
Hopefully it wasn't me.
And then we stopped. No, it wasn't you. No, it was not you. But I was like, I'm disappointed by the idea of, you know, so if you're going to have candy, then you need to just walk it.
Right.
You can walk the parade.
And it's also, I mean, it's not just safety and all of that. I mean, I'm going to be the one having to clean up the street afterwards.
Yeah, that
mess. And I'm like, no. And we partner every year. We've partnered with Keep Carlsbad Beautiful program to host the parade. So it's really just that partnership and emphasis on
I mean, you know what? Actually, if you wanted to give out candy, you could go to the Holiquania Arts Park for the lighting.
For sure, yeah.
Right? And
for the Night of Lights event that's going to be there.
And they have a lot of public trash cans where you can throw your trash away. You don't have to worry about that.
They sure do. Yes.
And then Mary Garwood will be there to help out too.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, she's my parade.
I know.
Like guru.
We know for sure.
Her and Eric. I do have to give Eric Estrada a shout out.
Oh, yeah?
That's her other half. I call it sometimes.
Yeah. He's always there.
He's like the parade marshal.
Right.
So yeah, I could not do it without both of them.
Lineup for the parade begins at 5:30. Now this is at the Arts Park, right? So
Correct.
near that.
On
so where do you
Mermaud Street.
Got it.
Kind of like Mermaud, and then we circle around Alameda if we need to. So kind of that part
like
of the library.
Mermaud Street and Alameda, but you'll see the directions of the lead cars.
You'll see all the lights. Yeah.
Parade starts promptly at 7. Lineup begins at 5:30. For more information or to register, contact Carlsbad Mainstreet. That would be you and your staff.
That would be me. Right. And also, I do have to say, because how we talked about pre-registration, while we encourage it, we will have forms on the night. Yeah.
I mean, you guys are always good about that. Even on your farmers markets, you get somebody that shows up and like, we really just want to be a part of this.
We're not going to turn anybody away, that's for sure.
I agree.
But just ask everybody. You know, it's
right.
This is one of those where I wish I could actually like count the number of people that attend.
Right.
But it's really difficult to count. I mean, everybody that's going to be in the arts park. And then, because I've both rode in the parade and also stayed on like the judging side.
Right.
And I mean, it is jam packed, just people that whole entire, I believe it's like a 1.5 mile route approximately. Yeah. And I mean, there's people, there's cars, there's vehicles. We're live streaming it. That would be probably one of our just like highest locally attended events. But it's one of those that you can't even capture it. But it's just, I mean, so many families, kids. It's just a really good like community feel and holiday festivity. Yeah,
that's a good kickoff. It's a good time. Right. I think the Christmas spirit's a little more this year than it has been in the past. Maybe for me, simply because there's not that much time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
you're like it's a shorter period.
Yeah, I might give my wife a couple extra days this year.
All right, Johnny's happy. So
that's halfway.
Get warming up.
Yeah, there you go.
His heart grew 3 sizes.
Yeah, that's it so far. 575-628-3768. 575-628-3768. With any questions, you can also go to Carlsbad Mainstreet on Facebook, of course, and send a message there. You could also walk in when they're open during the day.
You can
while you're walking around downtown or any of that stuff. That's great. That's wonderful. So then I wanted to also mention, so there's two lightings, which I think we talk about every year, right?
Yes.
So you got the Holly Gwynn Arts Park, we do a countdown and a flip switch or whatever, right? Switch flip, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Switch
Okay.
flip. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I'm going to get tongue-tied
I got
too.
it backwards a second ago. So you do that. You do the parade. That's great. Lots of people everywhere. Everybody enjoying the lights. Then you get to the beach.
Yes. So
Right.
the beach parking lot is actually the official ending part of the parade.
Right.
And it's this weekend is also the Chamber of Commerce Christmas on the Pecos kickoff.
Yeah, so that starts on
weekend.
the 29th.
It does.
Right?
It starts
You can
on
buy
the
tickets for
night
the boat
before.
ride starting on the 29th. But remember, there's way more than boat rides for this now, too. You got the other side of the river. You can walk around, there's a little village and stuff. You can walk around both sides of it. Yeah,
And
that's
this,
actually great.
this weekend, the November 29th
29th,
and 30th
yeah.
is their vendor shopping,
Right.
like shopping under the stars. That's what it's called. So
great.
they're going to have vendors out there as well. And then, yes, so at the end of the parade, which I think we're approximating 8:30-ish.
9? Okay.
I think 9 is the official time. Yeah,
have a-
9 is the
You
official
have a
time.
mile and a half long
That they're
parade,
gonna, if we have 50 or more floats, it's going to take a minute. So the Chamber of Commerce is going to be doing the Christmas tree lighting on the island at 9.
Yeah.
So we're going to encourage all the floats. We're going to have some parking spaces blocked off for them so that people can also that weren't at the arts park or,
Right.
that are specifically over on the beach side of things, they'll be able to see the floats also, check them out. I mean, like I said, they put so much effort into these floats. So I think adding this extra part of it at the end will be really good. And so, that will be at 9.
I mean, and Christmas on the Pecos really upped their game last year, too.
For sure.
Right.
With all the different activities, the little train
train
rides
and all that.
that.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the 32nd year of Christmas on the Pecos. Is that what you told me, or is
I
this
said the
32nd year
light
of the
parade.
light parade?
Yes.
Do you know? I mean,
Ooh, I
Christmas
couldn't
on the
tell you.
Pecos is not your job, but I was just curious if you have any idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly, on how many years.
It's been a while.
I would say it similar.
Okay,
if
no,
anything.
that's fair. Sure. All right, but so I mean, I wrote down notes before we recorded, folks, and I wrote down 32
And
years.
because also, I'm not. I know that, and don't quote me on this, but
Okay.
I think that the Electric Light Parade maybe started with the chamber also, because Main Street's not 32 years old. We're like 20 something.
Right. Okay.
So it used to
So
always
somebody
be
else was
hosted.
running that at one point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe
All
it
right.
was kind of part of that together.
You got any main sponsors of this Candyland Electric Light Parade that we need to shout out, or are we just
We
shouting out
actually
your
don't.
organizations?
It's really Carlsbad Mainstreet and Keep Carlsbad Beautiful.
Okay,
that,
cool. And then
that
Pearl,
put them.
Pearl and the
our,
Pecos
yes, our Arts and Cultural District
as well.
Yes.
But remind us of that great designation we got recently for the Pearl and the Pecos Arts and Culture District.
So earlier this year we got our state authorization as a accredited or authorized Arts and Cultural District. So that just gives us that extra stamp of approval. We only have 8 authorized
That's
arts
right, in
and
the state.
cultural districts in the state. So a lot of work went
the
into
last
that
time you were
process.
on, we were
Yeah,
talking
I think
about
we
that
talked about that.
designation, right? So I remember a little bit of that
Yeah,
now.
so it comes back to mind every so often.
And then actually, I teach a podcasting class here at the college, which anybody in the community is allowed to take if you pay attention to when the one in the spring semester starts. But we did one of the classes at the Carlsbad Public Library this year.
Oh,
right?
cool.
And it's great. It's Tuesday evening, but the park, is before the time change too. So I got to enjoy some warm weather
Right.
and some light. But, they're always adding art in that park.
Yeah, and
always.
if you haven't been to the park this year yet, definitely on the Electric Light Parade night, they have a very nice new Christmas edition. I don't know, Johnny, if you'll like it because it's quite a large tree, but
okay.
maybe you can take your wife to go and enjoy those lights on that night. They added some new attractions for the arts park this year.
But it's not that I don't like Christmas lights. Right? It's that I don't like,
Like
putting
them up
or
and taking them down. I know.
Just like every other husband in the planet.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
you could be one of those, like for those that don't like taking them down. I've seen people do this, and maybe again it's in Ireland, but I'm pretty sure I've seen people do it here where they just keep the tree up all year. That after Christmas, you just decorate for Valentine's.
Yeah.
Then you go St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
You just But no, I don't think I could ever do that.
No, not with a tree. I guess you could get those LED lights and you could just change the lights for the season. But still, I'm not a big fan of that either. I just don't really like lights.
That's okay.
I mean, I don't like putting up
too.
lights.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not that either. It's just it's like staple guns and
Yeah.
this and that and rolling this up, stuff like that. So, man, I am a total buzzkill for Christmas, and we're trying to promote.
And you invited
Christmas.
me on here.
I know. Okay, all right, so we've got we don't. I don't know how much more we have to say. We're gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna change my tune immediately.
There we go.
Right? Okay, so. great floats that you didn't have to decorate, that you get to go enjoy.
You get to go and enjoy.
Right.
Or if you'd like to decorate a float, please come and participate.
All right. So you said up to 50 floats is what you're anticipating?
Approximately, yeah. So last year, we had about 55. The year before was 48, 50-ish. So we've been averaging around that area. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
But I do know this year, even just some of the people that we've gotten so far, we have like I think they're called the La Cueva Trail, the biking club. So they're going to come with their bikes decorated. So
that's fun.
That's cool. So even, I think each year we have new people, but we have some dedicated people that participate in this every year.
I do appreciate a good competition.
It's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like you really get in the spirit of that. So the
I really think you should be a judge this year, and then all your listeners can come and be like, hey, look who...
Do you really need a judge?
Maybe.
If you need a judge, I can help you.
Okay.
But if you don't need one, then please...
I'll look and see and get back to you.
Yeah, if you need a judge, I will be willing to do that. I will brave the cold weather.
Yeah.
Which is relatively not that cold
It's
here.
really not too bad. It's really not.
No, it's not too bad at all. Candyland Electric Light Parade, November 30th.
November 30th, yes.
Lineup begins at 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. would be a good time to go to the Holigonia Arts Park,
For sure.
even if you're not involved in the parade, just to see that lighting campaign.
Yes, because the Night of Lights event that happens in the Arts Park, I believe, is going to be from 3 or 4 o'clock up until the beginning of the parade.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
they have some vendors and like Christmas music and all of that, like crafts and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Photos with Santa. Yeah.
That's a lot of vendors.
Yeah, there's
because
this is vendor heavy.
Because you're gonna have vendors at the Holigonia Arts Park starting at 3 p.m. Then at 7 p.m. the parade starts, and then at 9 p.m. before even around that on Friday and Saturday, shopping under the stars.
As a reminder, it's Small Business Saturday, so it's actually a really good time for all of these vendors to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's true. But why don't you? Carlsbad Mainstreet, being a bit of an economic driver here in the city of Carlsbad, why don't you name some of these great local businesses for us that'll be open on Small Business Saturday that they can visit?
On Small Business Saturday, so downtown, we're going to, Saturday after Thanksgiving, always all of our restaurants are open, so you can go and eat before coming to the parade. But yeah, pretty much all of our downtown businesses are open for it. We have Artist Gallery,
right.
Zia Bike and Board, Benny's Western Wear, like all the boutiques. And yeah, like I said, all the restaurants.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Some people, I will say, not all of them are open because they kind of take a little Thanksgiving break, but we have the majority of them are open on Small Business Saturday.
That would be suggested if you're a small business.
To take that
to be open on the
to be
day
open, I know, but I mean, just
the entire
because a lot of
decided to brand
the businesses, if they're run just by like one person or a family and they travel for the holidays, that's usually the only reason. But if not, they're there.
Talk about one of your new small businesses down there. Was it Juarax?
Warax?
Right?
Yes.
Warax. I wasn't sure I was pronouncing it correctly. I went there with my nieces when they came and visited us a few weeks ago, and I spent $120 and no problem, but I'll spend all the money I have on my nieces.
On your nieces,
right? So
awesome.
That wasn't a big deal, but we had a pretty good time.
It's fun, yeah. It's really different. I mean, they put a lot of work into the facility and just all the different things that they offer there.
We were really we enjoyed it quite a bit, and the girls had a really great time.
Work with them to get a Candyland decorations going in there. We can have some of those marshmallow trees or something.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. But that was a cool place, and I know that's a new business. So a new business down there that's worth visiting. It's a great place to take your nieces or nephews. Or if you're
great family entertainment.
Or just a bunch of friends hanging out, want to hit the batting cages or axe throwing for a couple of hours after you visit one of the nice local restaurants that are within walking distance type situation, which is what we love to do. Really gives you kind of a metropolitan vibe in a very small town.
Yeah,
because you can go to a restaurant, have a glass of wine, walk down and enjoy something.
We haven't had that like entertainment specific aspect kind of business in our downtown in quite some time. So it's definitely been, and it's good location. Kind of like you said, walking distance to.
Totally is.
I mean, Trinity, Yellow Bricks, all
Milton's,
Lucky Bull. They're Aquinos, all literally within walking distance.
Not too long of a walk at all. So I just decided to ask you this question, but I didn't talk about it before we started recording. So, but I do think that maybe as what's your title? Executive director? Okay. Of 2 districts, Carlsbad Mainstreet, as well as Pearl and the Pecos Arts Culture District. I would be really interested in your opinion on the county commission and the decision they made on the courthouse, at least in the interim for like at least the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. So on the courthouse before everything was more publicly aware, I was aware of the situation. The county, definitely talked with us on the plans and whether they were to keep it. We offered, because through our New Mexico Main Street program, we have a lot of like technical assistance and people in the realm like of historic preservation, or, like an architect, these services that could cost a lot, So we kind of reached out and offered that support. And then also, because if they were going to relocate, because again, the courthouse was never going to be tore down. The courthouse was never going to be
tore
down.
They were always going to put money into the courthouse, even if they didn't live there.
Correct.
Even if they weren't going to be there. I know.
And so, they definitely, discussed with us on potential ideas were it to relocate. But I think the whole process was, it was good. It was a good public support. You sometimes don't really know where public sits on things until the decision's about to be made, and then the people come out. But I think they made, based on they did that economic impact study. They listened to district stakeholders. I know in that interim from when the town hall was done back earlier in the year up until just the more recent decision you're talking about. Yep. I saw the people that they had here doing the study. I met with them. I saw them meet with other business owners. So they really did put in the work. And I think ultimately the right decision was made, because I feel like the commissioners voted based on their constituents. And that's really...
Well, that I'll agree with, because I went to the first.
But I'm very happy that the detention center is going to be relocated.
That was That was never a question. I honestly, and all this stuff. But so you're right. At the county commission, they had a plan going forward. They asked for public comment, and then they changed. Once they realized what the public wanted, they changed their direction, which is absolutely what an elected government should do in that situation.
I think they made the best and informed decision.
But I wanted to ask you personally, as the executive director of Carlsbad Mainstreet, because under the plans that they had, right? So there was 3 options. They chose the third option, if you will, to remodel that for now, and then worry about the extra space they're going to need in the future, whatever that looks like. But one of them would have been, if they'd have built the new judicial center, that building hypothetically had the potential to be all of Carlsbad's and not just the courthouse, because they had plans for public restrooms for downtown. They had a huge section of that building for Carlsbad Mainstreet, which would be a much improvement on the office that you currently have, at least space-wise for sure. They had hypothetically CDOD, a banquet hall, and a historic building, a courthouse museum. So it's going to be a little while before that's an idea moving forward. So just between the two, which one were you kind of the most excited about personally?
Well, I guess
without getting in any trouble with anybody.
Yes. So, I was excited for the potential of what the facility could be. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could put a small business incubator in there. We were, you can have workspace, conference room, all of this. The opportunities were endless. So your mind kind of gets going.
Right, it gets excited when you
get excited, and I'm like, ooh, I can pull on all these resources that I know and everything like that. Because as it is as a active courthouse, it is not open to the public, and I do professionally, I feel like it is a historically significant building. There's so much beautiful artwork and, items within the courthouse that when it is functioning as a courthouse, you can't just walk in and enjoy or see. So, but I'm also happy with the decision that was made, because, it's nice to dream of what could be, but we can also work on those dreams later or a different location for sure.
Your answer was good from the beginning, right? They really did listen to the public.
They listened to everybody. You can't fault that.
Now, there's a reality in the future that we will need more space. That is coming. Sure. That's true. They have a plan to expand it there, or eventually if we need a new one. So they listened to everybody. So that's great. So I was just curious, because I know that you literally look at that every day.
I look at it every day. Yes.
All day, every day. Those rose bushes were never going anywhere.
The rose, the lawn, the gazebo, and most importantly, the structure itself. They were never going anywhere. I probably would have been out there chained to it if that were to come, but I knew that was never the case. So I think the right decision was made.
Thank you for answering that unprompted question. Sure. I know it wasn't a hard one, but it was something that you're very close to physically, right? Literally, and also because of how important that area of the community is for you.
For sure.
So quick recap. The Candyland Electric Light Parade is November 30th. Lineup begins at 5:30. You should go to the Hollywood Arts Park at about 3:30. Sure. Vendors, check out the sculptures.
Check it out. And don't forget, if you want to do that early morning run,
yes,
with CASA at 8 a.m.
And that's at the beach?
At the beach area,
okay.
yes.
So let's recap this. We're starting at 8 a.m.
8
at the
a.m.
beach. CASA is an organization worth getting up and running for, whether you're a runner or not. Just go enjoy the vibe in the day, right?
For sure.
You go run. You do some small
Then
business
you do some
shopping.
small business Saturday shopping.
You do lunch with the family at one of the local businesses, right? Then you go take a nap. And then about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, you come to the Hollywood Arts Park. That lighting will start. You light it right at 7 and the parade goes, right? Okay. The parade goes all the way to the beach. Another a tree lighting this time at 9 p.m.
At 9 p.m. down with the Chamber of Commerce. Yep.
Full day of activity.
Full day.
You guys always do a good job every year. It's not surprising that it's really cool this year. I really love the theme. You might literally prompt a little run on Candyland board games here in Carlsbad.
I hope
as
so.
a result of this.
Because I know I need to get me one.
Yeah. Okay. You promise to get one and play
I do,
it
yes.
before the parade?
Yes, I'll play it the night
Well,
before.
because you can't be the executive director of Carlsbad Mainstreet, have a board game float parade because they're
know.
playing on the name and then not understand it. So you'll play.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in my holiday plans for sure.
That would be cool. So for more information, go to Carlsbad Mainstreet on Facebook. Call Carlsbad Mainstreet at 575-628-3768. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you want to say? No, leave anything out?
I think we covered it all. Yeah.
All right.
Always a pleasure to talk with you.
It is good to see you. Thank you very much for coming by.
Of course.
All right.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.